evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 6, Episode 41. Year's almost done. Good Lord. The Incredible DJI Mini 4 Pro. Before I greet everybody, new webcam tonight. Don't I look great? Doesn't it make me look better? I think it makes me look better. What do you guys think? I think I look better. Anyway, let's welcome everybody. Flying Plume Media, Casey Crime Fighter, Michael Wright, Jody from Jones Shots, Lauren, Akarasho, John K, Waypoint New England. Let's see who else. John Olson, Captain Ray, JSK Enterprise, Johnny Drone Flyer, Richard. Let's see who else we got. Drone Views Media. Jay Bird is here. Jerry Bauer, welcome, Jerry. Let's see who else we got. John Olson. Oh, my good friend. N6 videos. Thank you for watching tonight. I haven't seen you like in forever. Thank you for joining us tonight, my friend Joe. That is awesome. Dr. Ted is in the house. Let's see who else we got here. And USA Drone Flyer Captain Joe America. He may not make it tonight, but if not, he has a volleyball tournament. I think he's officiating at tonight. So how's everybody doing tonight? Okay. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Ron Marcus will be joining me here in a little bit, but I'm enamored with this camera because it really makes me. I'm messing with you, but it is a much better quality camera. I know the stream's in 720p, but I see it in 1080 on my screen, and I think it looks really good. It looks a lot better, so I'm very pleased with it. As you guys know, I use it a lot for my intro and outros for videos. And I think it really makes a big difference here. It really does. So I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm pumped up. My gosh, I have been what was it? Last Sunday? Was it last Sunday? Or the week before? It was last Sunday, yeah, or Saturday. I had 4 flights in. I can't tell you last time I had 4 flights in one day. Okay, that is just. Oh, thank you, Mad Props. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That TV, my friend. Okay, that's an 80-inch Sony. All right. I went all in. It's 4K UHD, and my gift, my Christmas present this year is a Blu-ray UHD player because I want to get some of my favorite movies on UHD because when you see it in ultra high definition, it's just yeah, we're there. Okay. All right. Got a lot to talk about tonight. First thing I wanted to talk about here is this. And if you guys know me, and if you followed me for any amount of time, a year, 2 years, 3 years, Leonard Oglesby, welcome, Leonard. Good to see you tonight. If you followed me for any length of time, a year or 2 years, and you've seen me do new drone videos, without fail, I do an altitude test. Now, I used to call it high altitude test, but I've amended that, and I just call it altitude test right now, okay? Just to kind of keep things real simple and in perspective. Well, it seems that I've been picking up a lot of new subscribers. I've gotten almost well over 120 the past 30 days, so that's great. Congratulations, and thank you all for joining. And I kind of wanted to give a altitude test 101 to some of you who are new to the channel. Okay, you guys who have been around, you know the drill. Arco, welcome. Good to see you tonight, my friend. You know the drill. You know what this is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the comments section of this latest video, and it's done pretty well. And I just wanted to kind of go over some things here because just wanted to go. We'll go over some things here. Is what I'm going to say. So there we are. And I'm wearing my Penguins hat. Okay. And guess what? Guess what I'm doing after tonight? The Penguins are on their first game of the year. Okay. I'm gonna be watching that after we're done. After we're done with Rotor Talk. First things first. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna read to you the pinned comment here, okay? What is an altitude test? How the video looks from 400 feet versus 125 feet. How and substitute whatever drone handles the wind. Stability of the drone, Mini 4 Pro at altitude. OcuSync 4 signal strength controller to drone. How easy or difficult it is to navigate at this altitude. How well AR return to home works from this altitude. There are a number of things that are tested when I'm up at 400 feet, okay? Bullet point number 2. Every drone I purchase, I do the same video and give it the same title with the same words, altitude test, okay? All right? And then, of course, it seems once again, I have to clarify that here in the United States, okay, the maximum allowable altitude is 400 feet above the ground. And this is per the FAA. If you have any questions, there's a link right there, and it's on this video to the FAA. And if you have an issue with that, you can take it up with them, okay? And then the last one, all right, because also flaming me will result in your comment being deleted. Repeated attempts will be blocked and reported to YouTube, all right? Now, I had some people on here whose comments are no longer there because they got deleted. There was one who was out and out flaming me. The other one, after someone had posted, what is an altitude test? Okay? I answered the question. I got that question asked at least 2, if not 3 more times, okay? So those were gone, all right? I deleted those, and hence I put this pinned comment in here. And it seems annually, Greg Pittman, welcome. Good to see you tonight. It seems annually, whenever I do this altitude test, and this happened with the Air 3 too, okay, I get the same response, okay, all the time. So it's kind of nice that I kind of have this, I kind of have it on a Word doc, or I leave it in an email so I can quickly access it and cut and paste it and put it in here, because 99% of you comments are fantastic on here, okay? Absolutely no problems with that, all right? But it's the 1% that are being snarky and smart. Well, you know, one guy down here, all right, and I deleted the comment, says, you know, I watched another one that went a mile up in the air. That was much more exciting. Yeah, it was, but it's also not kosher here in the United States. I mean, that's the way it is, guys. That's the way it is. I just, you know, I'm sorry I'm on my soapbox here, but I'm on my soapbox here because, you know, and like I said, 99.99% of you, you know, I look at your great comments on here. All right. Great comments. Never a question with that. All right. You guys know the drill. You know what I do when I do an altitude test. Okay. You know, and one of the other things that I want to add, and I don't really think I had a bullet point, but navigating from 400 feet and looking for landmarks, okay, it's really important to adjust the pitch of that gimbal, because if you have it to where you're getting more sky than your ground, all right, you're going to not be well oriented as to where you are. So that's why it's important, all right, to do these altitude tests. It helps get, especially for new flyers, because people, you know, and one of the things, the quality of the camera, the Mini 4 Pro up there from altitude, it's tremendous, absolutely tremendous, 400 feet up, and how it handled the wind up there, it was tremendous. Because, you know, I heard the ESCs, they were kind of chunking when it was overhead, when I could hear it. You know, I knew it was, you know, it was pretty windy up there, but it handled it. No messages, no warnings, and you saw the video. The video was just absolutely stellar. Yeah, Captain Ray. Yeah, unfortunately, you are so right. You were there. There are a few people who will spoil the soup. All right, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. 400 feet. You know, flying. I like that. I fly like I do my low and slow. Yes, exactly, Joe. Exactly. Okay. people just, all these guys that think they're working for the FAA, giving good people a hard time without knowing the facts, have way too much time on their hands. Mad props, 100% on that. Okay. Eric, welcome. Good to see you. All right. Drone news, it's true. How many of us, when we're going out, and right now is a good time, still kind of a good time to film fall foliage. Okay. I've looked through several videos today. Just saw one from somebody did up in New England, was just, the colors just absolutely pop. And that's a big thing I miss here in Florida. Okay. I will say that. Absolutely fantastic, the colors. All right. But it's not up from 400 feet. It's probably about 150, 125, 200 feet at the most. All right. You're going to lose that detail when you get up too high. And for most of us as hobbyists, and even Part 107s, if you're doing anything professionally, you're not going to be up at 400 feet. That's no. I'm sorry. I've been on my soapbox about that. George Kelly, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Absolutely, George. That's just, there are a few bad apples in every bunch, but you pick them out, and what I'm left with is you guys in the chat tonight. You guys are great. Absolutely great. All right. On a much lighter note this time, okay? DJI Air 3. I have zero complaints about this drone, all right? I mean, I'm talking like zero, all right? But the only thing I wish DJI would have done was, okay, let me back up here a minute for show and tell, all right? The prop holder that we got from DJI on the Mini 4. It's stellar. It's absolutely spot on perfect. Okay. This is just spot on perfect. No such luck on the Air 3. Okay. Had a great one on the Mavic 3. Fantastic. Kind of reminded me of Bane from Batman, the mask that he wore. But using the link from Mr. Ron Brown, yes, he got an affiliate sale. I bought the strap. It's the Start RC strap on Amazon, and this thing fits fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, I had to get orange. That's one of the colors of my channel and all that kind of good stuff. That's what it looks like on the bottom. It's notched right here. It fits in well. I have it a little bit on the loose setting right here. I could do it up a little more, but I kind of like it where it's at because the props aren't going anywhere, and that's the whole thing behind this, and that's absolutely what I love. Now it's perfect. Okay, just like Valerie's perfect for me. Okay, the drone's perfect. All right, it's absolutely perfect. But no, I mean, and there's something to be said. Yes, I do, Drone View. They're one of the ones I'm real impressed. They do make great accessories. Absolutely. Yes, I do, Johnny. Johnny, yeah. It is just it's fantastic. They did a great job with this. Okay, and see the thing with all these companies that are doing this, Mad Props. I agree, and that's why I really wanted to get this on here so it won't do that. These are in here pretty good. If you look on the bottom, they're not going to move. They're real limited here. See that? Yeah, they're real limited on this. So, and I wanted to make a comment. The little things in life, okay? Taking SD cards out can be a real pain in the tush. All right, but I found, you know what? This guy, it is as easy as pie. I can do it with my hands and my fingers. I don't need tweezers. With our friend, the perfect drone, okay, I need tweezers with this. I just the way this is in here, You guys are getting some bonus show and tell. Okay, the way this is in here. Okay, it's almost impossible. And I'm talking about with my good hand. Well, my left hand's still a good hand. It's just getting back to more normal. It's like next to impossible to do that. So I got to use. I have a whole series of stuff for when for my after flight. Okay, for when I'm taking SD cards out and putting them in my reader and putting them in here. I got it, but handy dandy drawer right here with all that in here. And you know what else I use? I use a toothpick. Yeah, I use a toothpick to get, to pop that SD card back in there. It's not metal, which is good, and it's not a thick one, which is good. And it does the job. And I've never had a problem with them breaking. That seems to work really well. Yeah, it is, Matt Props. It's crazy. That's just one of those things. For me, that I wish DJI would maybe kind of think about a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I have another Air 3 video in the works, and no, it's not. I already did my altitude test, so no, people won't have to worry and complain about that. There he is, Mr. Ron Brown. How are you?
Hello, Bill. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. Ron, you got an affiliate sale, my friend.
Oh, you bought the strap, huh?
I sure did. I used your link.
How do you like it?
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I was commenting here right before you came. What I really like here is, and somebody in the chat commented that was worried about the props scratching the bottom sensors. And with this, that doesn't happen, because even though they travel just a little bit,
yeah,
they're limited. They're not going to hit it.
Right. You don't want them so tight that they're going to bend the prop. So it's just
exactly
right. It's loose enough that you don't get any prop bend.
Exactly. RC, I think, makes absolutely fantastic accessories.
And I mean, it's about the price too. I mean, after you pay so much money for these drones, who wants to pay top dollar for their accessories?
Yeah. I mean, I will shell out $13 all day long. All right.
Right.
What I think that's what it cost. I'm not 100% sure.
$11.99.
$11.99. Yeah.
Well, these prices change by the day, so maybe you did pay whatever you said, Bill.
Look what Johnny said. He said his link had a bigger discount.
It all goes. Sky gets all the money anyways, Johnny, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
Bill, it was nice to see the Mini 4 Pro get its own prop guard holder right out of the box.
Yeah, and I was just saying that, that's one of the things, because the Mavic 3 got its, I call it, it's, from the Batman movie, I call it the Bane prop holder.
Yeah.
Because it kind of reminds me of that mask, but it works really well. And they did a great job with that. And then here with the Mini 4, they did a great job with that. But then they give us the Air 3.
The Air 2, I think, came, the Air 2 or Air 2S, both came with a prop holder. Well, Bill, why does DJI, like, one generation they have it, one generation don't? Why do they flop back and forth so much on that? Because obviously I hear people say, you don't really need a prop guard holder. Well, if you don't, why does DJI make them for some drones then? DJI thinks you do.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, there's like no rhyme or reason. It's like trying to figure out why the Steelers won on Sunday, okay? And I'm still scratching my head on
Bill, what is the Steelers' record?
3-2 now.
You're never going to get your coach let go if you keep having a winning record. The legacy nickname for him is Mediocre Mike, okay? And that's what everybody calls him. He does just enough to
keep his job, okay?
And rides on that Super Bowl from however many years ago.
Oh, well, I'll digress for 1 second, okay?
Yeah.
The touchdown that they got late in the game, that wasn't supposed to be a touchdown. They weren't supposed to score. They didn't want them to score. They wanted them to drive down, run the clock out, and kick a field goal. Because at that point, it was 10-8. And they kicked a field goal very late, okay? It gave, without Baltimore having too many timeouts left, it effectively could have ended the game.
So the only time Matt Canada scores is when they don't want him to score.
They didn't want him to score. It was just
yeah.
Moving
Sorry, folks.
on.
We'll get back to drones here.
Moving on. Yeah, it's just absolutely.
Bill, maybe we should in the future. We should like after Bill Drone Review show for another like 15 minutes, half hour. We should go into a Steeler Nation for a short amount of time.
We probably should. I'd probably attract quite a few people. I mean,
maybe we can even get some guests on, like maybe Mike Tomlin would come on,
or maybe Ben Roethlisberger. He has his own podcast.
Yeah,
now.
You said he's successful,
and
he's not afraid to criticize the current coaching staff.
No, he's not. He will do that. He's really ripped their offensive coordinator. Okay. I mean, he's really kind of
did he play for Matt Canada? Was he around in Roethlisberger's
I
day?
think his last season, yeah.
Okay.
His last season, yeah. Ben was there, so he knows the drill.
Okay,
he knows what's going on with.
Okay, well, back to your drone news, folks.
Okay, one of the things
I didn't miss the story about the Pocket 3 yet, did I?
No, that's coming up.
Good.
What I want to talk about right now, and this is good for our friends over in Europe. DJI drones EASA class label certifications. Now, this came up on Drone DJ, and I wanted to spend a minute on here because several of them have received class label certifications. And, while it's not, really, it's important for our friends over in the UK and over in Europe. So I wanted to spend a minute on this. The Mini 2 SE, the DJI Mini 3, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, the DJI Mini 4 Pro Fly More combo, and that's with CO class identification label, with C1 class identification label, the DJI Air 3, the DJI Mavic 3 V2.0, the DJI Mavic 3 Classic, the DJI Mavic 3 Cine V2.0, C2 class label certified drones, DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise, DJI Mavic 3 Thermal, DJI Mavic 3 Multispectral, DJI Matrice 30, DJI Matrice 30T, and DJI drone with C3 marking, DJI Matrice 350 RTK. Okay.
No, is this all based on weight?
I would believe so. Okay. According to the European, it says drones of C0 and C1 weighing up to 900 grams will be able to conduct operations in populated areas as defined in A1 subcategory, while drones up to 4 kilograms with a C2 marking will be able to fly as close as 5 meters to uninvolved people as defined in A2 subcategory. Further, drones weighing up to 25 kilograms will be allowed to fly at a distance of 150 meters from residential, commercial, industrial, and recreational areas as defined in A3 category. And that's what the C0, C1, C2, and C3 means. So, and again, this is in Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group. So you guys are welcome to do this. And I know this is important for all of you guys who are over in over in the UK and over in Europe. So, but I thought that was important to go over because I know, it's so much more important weight over there and up in Canada versus here. So, I wanted to make sure to do that.
So
Ron,
mini drones are even more important to them than they are to us.
If you take a look, it's a wider angle because it's a brand new webcam tonight. Okay.
Oh, wow. You remember you had that, you were using just the computer's webcam last week?
Yeah, I was in
that low angle. Yeah.
The low angle and everything. I told everybody at the start of the show, it makes this camera makes me look better than I am. So I'm gonna hang on to this one for life.
Special movie camera, yeah.
It makes me look good. So, but no, I thought that was important to go over that. But the next thing here that we're going to talk about is something that I think we're going to see sooner rather than later. All right, the Pocket 3. And there's another new leak. And of course, you know who the leaker is. I don't have to tell you.
Our friend Igor.
And, it's like, I'm thinking Ron, I really think it's going to be before the end of the month. I really do.
The rumors going back months where it was coming in October. So,
yeah.
Right.
Now, he says here, 1-inch sensor, it's translated from Chinese. 1-inch sensor is used.
Bill, how's your Chinese?
Not very good.
Not good, yeah.
10-bit D-Log color mode. Osmo Pocket 3 has a rotating touchscreen that allows you to start shooting by rotating the screen, and 3 microphones for sound recording. I like that, Ron.
Yeah.
3 microphones on there.
Yeah.
That's you probably won't.
The Pocket 2 had pretty good sound too, so it's good to see them, even improve that further, but potentially.
You won't even need to use your DJI mic with that. Okay, if it has 3 microphones.
Well, of course, nothing helps you with the wind whistling in the microphones.
That's true. That's
well, I
that's
don't know. I shouldn't say that. Bill, the Action 4 got a firmware update recently where it added extra wind noise reduction, like AI wind noise reduction. You can only use it in 1080p, but I have a video out where I demonstrate. I'm out in Tropical Storm Ophelia, and the wind is just gusting down under the pier and the beach. And at some points, you can hear me pretty good with that, that high wind reduction that the Action 4 just got.
See, that's a real good thing.
Yeah,
that's a real good thing.
At some points, it's not like a Cylon, but at some points, it's working real good. So,
yeah, and here's the other picture that Igor leaked of the Pocket 3 here too, and that's a big screen. Okay, compared to the first Pocket, that's a big screen on there.
The first Pocket had one of the smallest screens in the business.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I figured that thing a lot, Bill.
Yeah, so like I said, we're definitely going to see this before the end of the month. Of that, I have absolutely no doubt. Now, and there he is.
Before you move on, though, how about the speaking of men that love their one-inch sensors.
Yeah. The
stack sensors.
The 3/4 inch sensors, the sweet spot nowadays. You know that.
Welcome in, Marcus.
Thank you.
How are you tonight?
Good. Yeah, just messing around. I got some drone mail today that's kind of fun.
You got your filters?
Yeah.
Mini 4?
Yeah, for the Mini 4 Pro, yeah.
Good. They're Mini 4. That's hard to get filters for that drone, Marcus.
I mean, this thing has everything. 16 through ND 1000 mist filter, UV filter, light pollution filter, circular polarizer, and then it has 16 through 256 with a polarizer. So
that's nice, but is it available to order on Amazon at this moment? That's the $1 million question.
How would I know, Ron?
Yeah, see, showing off filters is no good when they're not shipping to the
Ron. He's a privileged son of Freewell. Didn't you know that?
We're gonna look it up here right now.
Yeah,
he's on their payroll, Ron. He just doesn't tell us that.
Hey, Bill, I want to get back to that Pocket 3 for just a minute.
Yeah,
that
sure.
1-inch sensor, did that kind of throw you for a loop since we went through the whole Air 3 didn't have a 1-inch sensor this summer, and a lot of us thought, well, they couldn't get 1-inch sensors anymore, so they're using the smaller sensors. But all of a sudden, now they scraped together some 1-inch sensors and put on the Pocket 3. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, well, let me say this, okay? And I'm going to kind of cross-reference here from ham radio stuff, okay? There's been a couple of one radio in particular that they pulled out of production because there wasn't enough parts for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of a sudden, there's enough parts for it now, and it's going to come out at the end of the month now. And people are like, "What? For over a year, it wasn't available, and now all of a sudden, it's available again." And same thing with the sensor, okay? And now it's available. I mean,
now it's back, yeah. We haven't seen a 1-inch sensor in a DJI drone since the Air 2S came out.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to this at all. I can't figure it out.
Marcus, what did you find out on your?
I'm going to answer your question. So this, if you'll look closely there, it says limited edition.
Yes.
So it is not available yet, but I expect it will be soon. But you can get the all-day 6-pack on Amazon right now.
Well, if you ordered it now, if you ordered today, when would it arrive?
Well, I'll just let me click on it here, and I'll tell you. I'm sure. It says prime delivery, quite a while, November 8th through 9th. So
yes, that's the problem with all ND filters for the Mini 4 on Amazon and places. The ship times a month out or whatever. So yeah, It didn't seem like DJI did a very good job at giving the third party accessory makers, access to the specs so they could have this stuff, ready for the users when the drone was released. The Air 3, the ND filters were available much sooner than this build.
Well, yeah, it's the same. When I contacted I contacted the head of Leicas, and he told me, he says, yeah, and it's the same deal here with the Mini 4 Pro. They didn't normally they'll get them ahead of time so they can spec out their accessories like cases and filters and things like that, but they're not. They didn't get it until we got it, so they have to rush into things. And I'm going to contact my guy from Leicas so I can get a case sent out to me to review it when it comes out, because I'll tell you what, they're the only cases. Marcus, take a look here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you got the yep.
And guess what, Marcus? He used my affiliate link.
I used Ron's affiliate link.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
I'll be rolling in the money now.
But guess what? Johnny posted in his. He said he has more of a discount with his affiliate link.
He could have got a better deal.
Like that, Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah. Did you ask him?
Well, buy the ND filters off of Johnny since they're not available. Well, you can order them, but you can't get them quickly. And Bill, back to the NDs, and then I'll get off my high horse here. A lot of people are still upset about the DJI and the ND filters, because if you look at the camera from the Mini 4. To the naked eye, it looks exactly the same as the Mini 3.
Yeah.
But when you take the cover off, then you can see it's different underneath. So I took a lot of people off that, I mean, we talked about this a little bit last night, and I'm not saying they did it on purpose, but it just seems like DJI just did that on purpose or whatever.
There's an engineering reason.
Which they did, but but they could have gone the extra mile to say, hey, this thing, we're just going to make it compatible with the Air 3 ones. I mean, how hard it would have been to do that, since the camera's the end of the camera and the part that goes on from the outside looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I got some more show and tell for you.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've always tried to do is have multiple sources of audio when I'm putting together a video. In other words, the DJI mic or whatever. Well, when you're using one of these DJI RCs, they don't have a mic in them, nor does the RC Pro. So you're not getting any audio out of it. Now, you can hook a mic to it. So I bought this little guy. It's just I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's just a USB-C. Plug it into the bottom, and then when you're out there, you got a mic on there. And when you do your screen recording, you'll get audio out of here as well. So
maybe you got a little wind muff on it too.
Yeah, and this was $20, so it's not like it was a lot of money. Anyway, if anybody that's
if you want to drop a link in the chat, Marcus,
Marcus, drop an affiliate link in there, and please use his link to
Marcus will have
order a couple of those, and order a couple of them. You may lose one, so you better order 3 or 4 backups.
Well, I just thought I know you guys have some of the same issues, and to me it was a cheap solution to be able to.
That is a very good, and that's an excellent solution, Marcus.
Yeah.
That really is. Drop a link in the description or in the chat, and let people know, because I'm sure, I know for me, that's fantastic. That would definitely help with me, without a doubt. So
and I like Marcus, I'll wait until I solve my RC2 issues. I can't get the screen recordings off of there anyways. This sound's not helping me right now.
I've seen a couple different videos on that, Ron. I mean, obviously, you know how I do it. We talked about that.
Yeah. You have the Windows computer to help you along, where I'm handicapped by only having Macs.
Right.
Well, right now I'm using the standard DJI RC N2, so I have no issues anymore. Marcus, I made my 4th flight today, 3.5, with the Mini 4 Pro using the RC N2 and my iPhone 14 Pro. I haven't seen a dim yet.
Oh man, fantastic!
So
that's good. That's really good.
I don't know what's going on here. Whether Apple's updates have improved things, or maybe DJI is not tasking the processor and the photos much, but things that seem to be a lot different than the last time with older drones where I tried to use the iPhone and the standard controller. So maybe I'm just being lucky, but so far so good.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to spend some time talking about is we've all had several flights under our belt with the Mini 4 Pro. And first of all, the first question I wanted to ask both of you, what has surprised you in a good way? And then second question, what surprised you in not a good way?
Oh, that's a good one. Marcus, you have something you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm working on this link, Ron.
Yeah, he's getting a link. And Bill, before I give my answer, I enjoyed your high altitude test.
Thank you.
The other day or whatever.
We had
no
some
issues.
We had a little bit of commentary at the beginning about that, and I straightened some people out because this is a video. If you followed my channel for any length of time, okay, you know that I do a video called altitude test with every drone I get, okay, and then a first person asked me what's an altitude test, and I went through a litany of things that I test with it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get 3 or 4 other comments, the same exact comment. So those comments are no longer appearing on my channel. And then I had another gentleman say, well, I really like the one where he went up to a mile. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's not, I have to pull out the link all the time for the FAA for 400 feet AGL, here we go again, kind of a thing. And,
so these people didn't take their trust test, huh?
Yeah, 99%, including everybody that's in the chat tonight, they know the drill. They know what kind of videos I'm going to be putting out, and they know that's one of the things. They can count on Marcus going to the Snake River Canyon for his first flight with every drone. Okay, they can count on Bill doing an altitude test with every drone he gets. Okay, that's just one of those things. All right, and one of the other things that I didn't put in my description, but everything. But you need to realize there's a different orientation when you're up at 400 feet versus 100 feet. All right. You need to make sure that you've adjusted that pitch of that gimbal so and you can recognize landmarks down there. Because if that gimbal's up too far, you're not going to recognize landmarks. You're going to get lost. And that's not a good thing. Okay. So, that's one of the other things. And then several other people piped in the chat, which is really good. What do you need to do up at 400 feet? Okay. Today, one of the, I don't know who put it out, but somebody put out some fall foliage from New England. And I don't know, I think they may use the Air 3 or the Mini 3 Pro or something. It was probably about 100, 150 feet. Fantastic shots. Okay. You don't need to be up to 400 feet to get these great shots.
Right.
Right.
And plus, before the days of 04 and 03 or whatever, we used to fly higher to keep our signal. The higher you fly, the more you would maintain your signal. Marcus has his link up for the Booyah.
Hey, it's actually cheaper now. I paid $19.95, and I saw it was $15.95 today. So I don't know how long that'll last.
It's probably that's a very good point, Marcus. All these products that we recommend from third-party sellers like Booyah or Starter RC, these prices, like the stock market, these prices go up and down almost on a daily. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But I'm just saying, we quote a price. It's not that we're wrong. It's just that the price is fluctuate often. So,
well, I think part of the reason it's Prime Deals Day today and tomorrow. So I think that because there's been a lot of discount on a lot of things. Okay.
Hey, let me also add, I want to throw this caveat out here. I have not used this yet, so I don't know how good the quality is. So I just took it out of the box just now. So
you may sound like you're on Mars with audio or something.
I'll let you know first time I get a chance to try it out.
But the nice thing, Mark, is if they order it off Amazon and you come back and say it doesn't work right, they got free return shipping, get their money back.
Again, that's a good thing about Amazon. Hey, so the other thing, to your point, your question, the thing that there's a couple things that I was pleasantly surprised with on the Mini 4, and Ron and I have talked about this extensively, is it feels, for lack of a better term, more athletic. In other words, if you look at the specs, it doesn't fly any faster, it doesn't ascend any faster, it doesn't do any of that. But when you're flying it, it seems like it gets to that speed faster. So that's one thing. But the other thing that I was really happy about was how well the Active Track and APAS work. Now, I have not used that 360 tracking yet. I can't wait to try that out. Ron has, huh?
Just this afternoon.
Yeah, I can't wait to mess around with that. But when I was doing my tracking video, I wanted to, you know what, I'm going to do what I know, and let's just see how well it tracks, and it did really well. And that APAS is just phenomenal. I mean, it just, I know there's people out there that have crashed their Mini 4s already, hitting a little branch or something, but boy, common sense rules the day. Man, you got to work to crash that little drone.
Dustin Donald clipped like a bear, a twig or whatever in a tree.
Yeah, and Billy Kyle did as well, and our friend, oh gosh, I can't think of his name right now. The guy in Holland on his bicycle, Ron.
Heinrich.
No.
Yeah.
DC Rainmaker?
DC Rainmaker.
I couldn't think of his name. He crashed his about 5 times in one video, running into stuff. But in any case, that's a whole other subject. Now, on the negative side, I got to be honest with you. I can't think of anything that I just can't. It's in every sense, it's at least as good or better than its predecessor. I got one more. One of the other big things that I've been so pleasantly surprised about is how well the autofocus works. That autofocus focuses instantly, and the Mini 3 Pro does not. So,
well, I was going to say,
I'll give you mine.
Go ahead, Ron.
First of all, I want to give Marcus agree that. Again, if it just when you're in the air, it just feels like it's flying much better than the Mini 3 Pro. It feels more like the Air 3 up there that does the Mini 3 or whatever. Again, I can't tell you one thing, but it just feels more secure when it's hovering up there. It seems to handle the wind better than the Mini 3 Pro, and it just likes to fly better. And I got cons, Bill, but most of these cons aren't really related to the drone itself. One of the cons is, of course, the RC2 controller, and this really is, again, the same problem as on the Air 3 as the Mini 4. The problem with screen recordings, being able to get screen recordings, manage them on the device, and getting them off. There's a whole bunch of workarounds, but people shouldn't have to come up with these convoluted workarounds or whatever. It should just work. It's been a problem since the Air 3. They've had time to work with it. Come on, DJI, figure it out. And
and you think it's a software issue. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's weird.
They got to get that programmer. The programmer was so busy working on the Pocket 3, he didn't have time to get back in there and fix this issue with the controller. Go ahead, Mark.
I just was going to explain the difference between a Mac and a PC when you do it. If you use the photo downloader on your PC, it will find them. It will find it instantly. However, it will not if you have if you still got the micro SD card in it. It'll tell you that it can't find it on the device. You pull the card out, and it will find it.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah.
I said a convoluted workaround that people shouldn't have to work through. Another thing, Bill, DJI's been slow in adding capabilities or compatibility with the DJI goggles, whether it's the Integra or the goggles 2 and the Motion 2. That stuff works with the Mini 3 Pro, and it now works with the Air 3 from a firmware update about a week or two ago, whatever. Why isn't it here for the Mini 4? Is this lack of not enough programs to get it working, or because it's the same controller? I know it's coming, and people say it's coming, but it should be here, whatever, already, since again it's on the Air 3. So just a couple little cons. And here's not a con at all. I'll go Marcus on this one. But when I was out there using the DJI RC N2 in my phone, I mean, still, as much as I thought the RC2 was the world's greatest controller, and it kind of is, it's still not as fast as using the phone. When you use the Fly app on your phone and you're touching buttons and menus around, they still work. They still react quicker on your phone than they do the RC2.
Yeah, your iPhone.
Well, I don't have. I have the older iPhone at this point. I have the 14 Pro, so I don't even have the current generation. And again, it's still, when I go to tap menus and move things around, it's still, the response time is better than the RC2.
Well, the 14 Pro has the same processor as the iPhone 15. Now, the 15 Pro has an advanced one, but I'm the only point I'm trying to make, Ron. Your 14 Pro has a fast processor.
Yeah. So
that's
not even
media is saying that when he syncs. If he doesn't have an audio recorded on his screen recording, you're syncing the mic to that, and that is a really good point. So whether I actually use the audio off the screen recording or not doesn't matter. I will be able to instantly synchronize from my DJI mic to this in post-processing. It makes it so much easier when you can sync the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Good points. And, I kind of want to piggyback a little bit. One of the negatives that I found out, okay, because I did 3 flights, pretty much right in a row. And between flights, okay, I was getting set up for the next one, and, and I had to stop my, my B-roll camera and everything. And I noticed it, and it wasn't more than 2 minutes. The drone was starting to get a little on the warm side. Okay.
Okay.
And now I kind of back that up here a little bit. Our temperatures, we're finally starting to get fall weather down here in Florida. Okay. It's it's mid 60s overnight and in the morning, which is very nice and comfortable. So it's not like it was burning and blazing hot and humid and everything. So it did heat up a little bit, but again, that was that transition where, I'm taking at least a couple of minutes. And what I did was each time I shut it off. Okay. Because it was going to take me at least 2-3 minutes to get everything reoriented, set up to what I wanted to do the next time with that. Okay. So that's one of them. One of the other ones is, and I don't even want to call it, it's not a negative, it's really more of a positive. Okay. Is how it handled in the wind. Because we had a pretty windy day here, and especially when I took the altitude test up to 400 feet, it was fairly significant. I mean, you could see the palms were moving pretty good up there, and then of course when you go aloft, okay, those winds aloft, they're much stronger than they are on the ground.
Yeah.
And one of the things I could hear the ESCs compensating when it was overhead, when it was flying overhead, but conversely, all right. I looked at that video quality from that camera. It didn't skip a beat the whole time it was recording. Okay. From up at 400 feet. So that tells me that stability of that camera at 400 feet with the wind kicking it around pretty good. It was fantastic.
Bill, this definitely isn't your father's mini drone.
Hey, yeah. No. Can I pile on to that, Bill?
Yes.
So you just made a really good point. And one of the advancements that DJI has made with, I believe, both the Mini 3 and the Mini 4 is the control of that gimbal. I flew the Mini 2 the other day, and it's a great drone. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But you throw it in sport mode, or you get any kind of a side wind or something, and it can tilt that gimbal. And in sport mode, obviously, it has to kick the gimbal. Because as it pitches forward, and I also think it has to do with the strength of the motors in the gimbal itself, and DJI has clearly solved that with.
That's nice to see those days gone of the droopy gimbal.
Yeah, that's
in sport mode. Good point, Marcus. Yeah. And Bill, I before we get off, about the heating issues. I understand that it may get a little warm when you're doing a firmware update on the desktop, or whatever. But I flew. I flew a thing today, which like all other flights, I had the plus battery and flew for 30 minutes. I landed drone, picked it right up. It wasn't even warm. of course, I'm flying and it was the upper 60s. It was a good breeze going, so it was a lot of air ventilating. But I picked up the drone wasn't even warm. I mean, it was that self cooling or whatever. Again, I understand inside, but just like these action cameras, these drones, they're meant to be outside, and they're meant to have air cooling them going through them or whatever.
Exactly.
And using them inside in a closed house on a desk, maybe with a light on or something like that. It is just, we have to pay some kind of price for these devices to be so small. The action cameras, so small. These drones so small. It's a price we have to pay, and one of those prices is they need to be ventilated.
It's physics, isn't it, Ron? It's just physics.
Simple physics. Yeah. The whole thing, in cooling it down, and that's how DJI has designed that. And one of the other things that I wanted to touch on tonight is pricing on this. Okay. And I know, and I got to say this, okay, after digesting everything and having had it for a while and flown it 3 or 4 times and everything, okay, one of the things that I've always said about DJI, you get a lot of bang for your buck. And it is exactly the same case. And even in this instance, okay, looking at the actual price differential between, say, when the Mini 3 Pro was new and when the Mini 4 Pro was new, okay, there's not a big difference here. It's not like it's a gargantuan.
The sticker shock came last year with the Mini 3 Pro. We got the sticker shock last year. This year they held the line.
I'll even go you one better, Ron. I remember because you and I were there together at that time when the Mavic 3 came out. We were both like, holy cow. We were expecting like a $1,600 drone, and it was over $2,000. And I remember having a little bit.
I remember everybody kept saying it was $3,000 because everybody assumed the fly mark,
Right.
Everybody assumed, again, they assumed that was the price that I guess they assumed it wasn't released as just a drone or whatever.
Yeah.
Those leaks that we had that kind of pricing on it, so that's why we assumed those prices for the Mavic 3.
But think about that; they've held the price on that Mavic 3 Pro as well, right? You're getting more drone for the money, and it's another $50.
So again, kind of like that. We saw we got a sticker shock, on that 2 years ago, and then this year they kind of held the line on prices. So, I mean, we got a little sticker shock on the Air 3 this year, but not too much because we knew it'd be more than the Air 2S because that drone was over 2 years old.
Okay, I just thought of something I got to throw at you guys. And so, I'm just talking about DJI consumer drones here, not other brands.
Okay.
Just DJI.
No Altels.
Yeah, no Altels, no Femies.
No Hubsons.
If somebody came up to you, Bill, and said, Bill, what is the best bang for the buck drone I can buy today? DJI drone I can buy today. What would you tell them?
DJI Air 3.
Ron?
My first question would be, well, what's your budget?
Well, no. Bang for the buck. So
just
the one that gets you the most for the money.
Yeah. I would get the Air 3.
I'm still gonna say
Mini 4, huh? Mini 4, yeah.
I'm still gonna say the Air 2S. You can get that
okay.
more package for under $1,000.
I wasn't even thinking non-current drone. Okay.
Well, it is still. I'm still going to call it a current drone because DJI is still selling them new. It's not like
you want to hear this.
Yeah.
You know what I found out this week? You can buy a Mavic 3, the original Mavic 3, refurbished from DJI for $1,600.
Well, there's another great buy.
Man, that is
$1,600. Okay. Yeah. I am so tempted because I got the DJI RC Pro. I have a battery back there. Okay. In refurbished, you get that warranty, same as new. I mean, it's like
best drone and best controller, Bill.
Well, you also think about it too. It's also tempting because you spend $500 more, you can get the Pro. Okay.
True.
I mean, it's so tempting. It's so tempting with something like that.
Hey, here's an interesting combo. Look what Matt. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. Take a look at that. I did not know that. That is fascinating.
Yeah, I saw that. That came up today in the email. DJI's having a sale of most of the older gear, and that came up. So, being that the goggles, the goggles are like $400 some.
Yeah, no, he said,
and the Motion 2 is like $200 or whatever. So like that's $600 right there.
Yeah, he's saying 700.
700. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
And you can go out and you can buy a drone only like DJI FPV drone for like $400 or whatever.
Yeah, then you'd have a combo
buy
there,
equipment also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all in all, and one of the things before you join us, Marcus, we're talking about the Pocket 3, and we're really thinking that that's going to be coming out. I mean, as Ron pointed out, they were saying October this whole year, and more leaks came out today.
I think those specs, when Igor shows those specs, they're not side of the box specs, but I think they're retailer specs. I think he's getting from some retail store that has those specs.
Well, here's what I know: DJI is going to sell at least 3 of them.
Oh yeah.
And Bill, here's let's get back to what you were talking about a minute ago. Okay, we saw sticker shock on some drones recently, whatever. They held the line on the Mini 4 Pro, but we haven't seen a Pocket almost 3 years. Should I expect sticker shock? Should I expect to pay like double what I paid the last time?
Well, Ron, that is such an excellent point, because and Bill, Ron and I have kind of had offline discussions about this. If it's too much money, we just won't get it, right? Well, Ron's got more cameras than he needs, and so do I.
Yeah,
I want it, but if it's $700 or something, no, I won't do it.
And also, if it's grown too much, if it's no longer a pocket camera, I'll think twice too, because my Action 4 is a pocket camera without the stick on it. It easily fits in my pocket.
Yeah.
Well, looking at it again, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here. Looking at it again,
ballpark a price on the Pocket 3 for me.
Me?
Yeah, but give me a ballpark what you think it may cost.
Okay, here's what I think: the whole package, a whole enchilada.
I'm saying just the base kit. I'm not talking about
the base kit by itself.
Just the Pocket and whatever the battery and charging cable.
Battery, charging cable, everything. $325. Okay.
Oh, I like that pricing. Bill, sold.
Now,
sold.
here's what I think. Here's what the kit. All right, with case, battery, attachments, all that kind of good stuff. I think you're probably going to be about $490, but it's really going to have all the bells.
Yeah, the current creators combo is $499. I believe we looked this up, Marcus, and isn't the Pocket 2 just the Pocket 2 like about $350?
Something like that. Yeah.
So, Bill, you actually have a little. You have a little bit of a price cut.
And see, looking at this picture here, I still think it's really going to fit the Pocket kind of mentality. Looking at it, because
that screw folds and make it smaller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's really gonna still fit that bill. I really do.
I think that's important. I mean, you can't have a product called the Pocket and only fit in like the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive linemen's pockets or whatever, or offensive pockets. Oh, I don't. I may have props went a little high there.
Well, $599 if it's the creators combo and they throw some fancy tricks in there and all that, maybe.
And if that 1-inch sensor is amazing, I'll put it this way: for $599, I will not buy it on day of release. I will sit back, watch all the reviews, yada yada yada. But if Bill's price of $325, I'll buy instantaneously.
Jump. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike Wright's got $549. He came down. He shaved $50 off of Mad Props.
500. Anybody got 500? 499. 499.
I mean, Bill, how good with this? If it does have the 1-inch sensor, Bill, how good will this device be? Will this blow all the action cameras, and will this just blow them all out of the water at that point? I mean, how do you want to say? Will it be the Mavic 3 Pro of handheld cameras?
It just might, because the thing that really kind of tipped me today in a good way was hearing about the 3 microphones on there. All right, that's big, because early on, okay, and I'm going to say not only with the original Pocket, But with the original Action camera, the big knock was the sound and the recording and the microphone. Okay, it was a huge knock, and it really turned a lot of people off from those cameras initially until they got some firmware updates and got things squared away. So in this instance, with that, plus if it has that 1-inch sensor on here, okay, it's gonna be a real home run. It really
I'm gonna add it into the Pocket too. Has pretty good audio, even if you're just using the built-in mics.
So yeah, I foresee it getting nothing better, but better than that one.
So it'd be like I'm out there with a cinema camera or whatever. People, I could sell all my DSLRs or whatever, and yeah. No, but I mean, I'm halfway kidding. I mean, this thing could potentially be, I mean, Bob Dempsey was on our show last night, Bill. He said he uses the Pocket 2 for paid jobs. Well, can you imagine? He'll have to raise his prices with that 1-inch Pocket 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So any closing thoughts here, guys?
Well, somebody said we Marcus, we forgot to get up early and do our lidar release party thing.
Yeah, Dre
I could pick that thing up for you for only about $13,500, Marcus.
Yeah.
So you want to put lidar on one of your drones, but closing thought is, I'm all year long, we've been looking forward to a lot of these products and drones, but the Pocket 3 is one of those we've been looking forward to for a while. So I'm finally I'm really, probably more excited about this coming out than maybe some of the drones this year or whatever. So looking forward to it. Hopefully, I hope you're right, Bill. I hope you see it before, let's say, Thanksgiving. If not, I mean, Halloween, if not Thanksgiving then, but real excited about it, and I'm going to Marcus.
Yeah, so the Mini 4 Pro, like Ron was saying, it was just okay, it's coming out. Yeah, I'm going to get it because, I like seeing the new tech. But like most people, I was thinking, gosh, is this that big of a leap from the Mini 3 Pro? I've been so pleasantly surprised with it. It is that big of a leap, and not just because of the new features that it brings, but because just how well the little drone works. So, man, I'm going to fly that thing a lot. The Air 2S and the Mavic 3 Pro, all of them, they're so good.
Hey, Marcus, real quick, I know Bill was trying to wrap up here, but before I used to only compare the mini drones to mini drones or whatever, right?
Right.
But the Mini 4 Pro is so good now. I could compare it to like the Air 3 or whatever. It's no longer segregated just in the mini category. It's so good that it rises above the mini drone category.
Yeah. The only negative side of that is you certainly can't call it a bargain drone anymore. Like the Mini 2, that probably went away with the Mini 2, where, like Ron said many times, people buy those more because of the price than anything else.
250 grams,
yeah. And I gotta say, DJI is they still sell the Mini 2 SE and all that. So
you can get the plain Jane Mini 3 for sub 500.
Yeah, and that is a fantastic little drone. But anyway, I don't want to get too far into those weeds. Yeah. The other thing, I just went for a walk right before the show. I was out in the neighborhood. It's been raining here all day. It stopped raining for a couple minutes. Man, the trees are so starting to change color. Ooh. It's getting beautiful out there. So this is the time of year that you want to get your drone out and get some great shots. And with drones like this Mini 4 and the Air 3 and the Mavic 3 360 OA, you can get in between those trees without fear. Just go out there and
let me hop a red eye out to Boise with my Mini 4 Pro.
Well, but Ron, I'm going to tell you what, buddy, we'd have some good drone flying expeditions. Bill, you need to come too.
I know that because that's the one thing. I'll tell you what, that's the one thing I really miss is the changing of the seasons.
No, you used to have a beautiful change of season in the Pittsburgh area, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. Where my college was in Beaver Falls. And we take the Beaver Valley Expressway there, and it was cut through the mountains and stuff, through the hills. It just phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Just that trip. And I would love to be able to get up there this time of year and record that kind of stuff. I watched a video on it today. I don't know who did one, but somebody did one. I think it was with the Air 3, and it was up in New England, and it was just gosh, yeah. My jaw drops.
My point is, get out there and fly. It's a good time.
Absolutely, Marcus is right. because especially you guys up north. All right, I don't really have a changing of the seasons down here in Florida. All right, I don't have leaves turning colors and things like you guys do. Get out and enjoy that. Number one, just physically enjoying that. But number two, capture some great shots, get some great pictures, get some great video with this. That's what these drones are for. They're fun. And you put together a clip, get some copyright-free music and put that together on and make a great clip, and impress your friends.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do this stuff. It's really, it's
Be
really
the next
progressed a
Billy
lot.
Kyle.
Yeah, it's really progressed a lot in the last 7 years since we got started doing this. Okay, from where we were then to where we are now, it's so easy to do this.
Or those drones we flew back then, they were almost dinosaurs compared to what we're flying now.
I had the Autel X Star Premium, all right, in the video editing and everything. It's just quantum leaps, leaps and bounds. Get out and enjoy it. This is a wonderful time of the year. Temperatures are fantastic. It's just an absolutely great time to do this. And I want to thank everybody, not only my viewers, but Ron's viewers, Marcus's viewers as well. Okay, you guys are fantastic. Okay, you really are. You consistently comment on our videos. We really appreciate that. I can't tell you enough how much it means to me, and I know to these two gentlemen as well too.
Yeah.
That you come in, you watch our videos, and you put some good, thoughtful comments out there. We really appreciate it. That's one of the things that gives me so much satisfaction in knowing that. Plus, I got to say this too. On a personal note, I'm real pleased because I've been gaining a lot of subscribers the past couple of months, and I'm real pleased with that. I'm getting closer to 13,000, which is great, and I just want to keep it going, and I just want to keep getting the news out there, and that's what we do. Okay, Ron does it, Marcus does it. We want to get the news out there. We want to share this. This is just so much fun, and I got to say this. Christmas is coming, so we're gonna have a nice giveaway at Christmas. We're gonna have some fun. Of course, you get to see Valerie. I get to bring her in on a video.
Okay.
So you guys will be in for a treat. So, but that's coming up. Anyway, everybody have a great rest of your evening. And as always, guys, it's a great day to fly. Take care. Have a great rest of your evening.